Ah, you know, I'm sure you should know that there's a food crisis in Nigeria. What you may not know is that there's also a health management crisis in the country. I am not too sure which one is more endemic and which one is more fatal, even though both are related. Because what doctors usually tell us is that we must, once you get into trouble with your health, and many of us, maybe as you age, will surely arrive at that gate when your body begins to tell you, oh, the mismanagement of its territory, is now calling for repayment in terms of aging, cells, anatomical procedure, structure will now begin to demand some attention. You may not know, you may not, but definitely you are experiencing the food crisis. So they tell us eat your food as if you are taking your drugs and take your drugs as if you are eating food. But surely, if you eat well, there are some aspect of your health that can be managed that you will not get if you eat bad. If you eat well, when I say eat well, nobody's talking about quantity of food. It's also about eating the right quantity of food at certain measures. Your doctors will tell you, oh, do you exercise, take a lot of fruits, drink water, avoid alcohol. Well, many can hardly avoid it. What they may be told is to ensure that they don't get into trouble with it. Maybe social drinkers. I can tell you, many people are dying on song. They just dying up, signing off in their different homes because if they have health challenges that will require specialist attention beyond visiting the neighborhood pharmacy shop or just drug dispenser, what we call chemist. Beyond that, if they need specialist attention in our teaching hospitals, they rented it. If they don't have the required funds to gain attention and post consultation, maintaining drugs, having to buy drugs. Well, the people have often resorted to traditional way of doing things, buying. Yalagbo. Yes, they are quite efficient, and sometimes they cure some of these things, but not when it has gotten to when you have to attack those things. Maybe to prevent them, our apps may still work. Well, I some 4 years ago, I had to, for the first time, I heard about PSA, prostate. I mean, I had for the first time I heard about prostate, and I never heard about PSA before. When my doctor told me my PSA, that is prostate specific antigen, was high, I said, "What was that?" I didn't really see all the signs that were meant to be present in you for you to. What they told me, then I learned about the medium, the range 0 to 4. And by the time I discovered I think I was between 73.5, and my GP was so surprised that I didn't experience all those symptoms. Well, the battle started where friends rallied around, friends and then associations that you belong to rallied around, because the kind of cost that will require for you to manage prostate of the cancer of the prostate, because eventually biopsies show that I was already cancerous. The battle started. But one thing I know is that our doctors are still fantastic here. What they lacked was the necessary encouragement by way of working environment, condition of service, working environment in terms of tools of their trade. Well, a major teaching hospital here, you can be sure, didn't even have MRI machine. It had bone scanning machine. Another one didn't have it, so another teaching hospital within the same region didn't have that, and then the one who didn't have it has to be referred to the one that had it, vice versa. How do you expect any conscientious medical person to really use the best? Anyway, that's just by the way. If you have certain health challenges, consulting and getting attention on time without you having the requisite fund is hell. And after you must have been properly diagnosed, maintaining in terms of drugs. What drugs? Because of drugs now. Yes, our people, they will go to most of these herbs, and the marketers of these herbs have a way to adulterate the efficacy of their drugs, and before they realize a lot of damages are done to them, and they just end up dead. And many have really died of something that could be managed and its progression stopped trajectory if they had the necessary wherewithal. A situation where there's no health insurance, where our ruling elite are so irresponsible as only care for themselves alone. But even then, the short of the fact that they rely on our common patrimony, they are not even enlightened enough to know that they could provide for their own needs. And of course, if they provide for their own needs, we could also benefit at least. We heard of somebody building a state a country's former capital. Oh, it's a builder of so. Yet he couldn't build any mega hospital where he could receive medical attention. And every time he experienced some health challenges, because they use our private jets, they use our funds to travel out, the necessary tackle with the aids that will go with them, and the rest of us are left here looking up to friends, relatives, associates to help you take care of your medical procedure and support your health facility. One was even said, uncommon governor building uncommon facilities. With fanfare, he launched, said it's a world-class medical facilities in the state capital while he was governor. The same person is now in the National Assembly, presiding over the affairs of our state, as if circumstances wanted to play a very huge joke on him at his own expense. He had to be rushed out for medical attention Just about a month after he launched his the world-class medical facility, that's an uncommon. He got caught up by uncommon sickness. He couldn't even be treated in his own in the hospital. He just announced to the world class that people will now be turning to. You know, it's so amusing. As usual, when you hear the stories of this country and the ruling elites, the way they have totally mismanaged all the human resources, yeah, our human resources are fantastic. Go travel abroad. Most of the hospitals are managed by and being manned by Nigerians. Young ones who have decided to emigrate because of lack of opportunities here. Yes, I got encountered by at a cancer center, urologist there. I met quite a few of them around here and there in Glasgow, in London. Nigerians who maybe some of them between 2016 and 2004. You see them train in Ife, Benin, Lasso, OAU. But they were trained about 6 young chaps. I mean, they still paid they said, well, they hadn't really decided not to, because they still paid their practicing fee to the Nigerian Medical Council, as they call it, for them to remain on their register. But I don't know how people are coping. People who have to suffer eye problem, and whether you like it or not, our pressure in our eyes will keep on as we aging. You go through procedures, some will need surgery. I know about 2 people who lost their sight, some in advanced age, some at early enough, but because they couldn't manage it. Sugar level, of course, which is one thing that is common with blacks because of the kind of food we eat. Of course, cancer, we are told, cancer of the prostate, we are told, is from 40, once you are 45, you must be conscious of it and do your PSA regularly. And I think that one is still preventable if you're able to manage it. Malaria, that is the cheapest that is the most common, even our environment here, is also difficult to manage now, because before with 1,500 you could manage if you go to hospital, you could manage your malaria if it hasn't gone typhoid. But now I am not sure with 6,000 you can get good medical attention from, of course, you could get from the nurses around who, after even many of them are even not qualified nurses. Maybe they've worked in the hospital with a doctor, they have known how to insert injection. You are lucky that the injection is not inserted in the wrong place. They now know how to treat. They claim to be treating you, and people will have to patronize them because they cannot even visit the private hospitals that should be their first port of call, the GP in their neighborhood. Many go to our teaching hospital to go and die after they have gone through so many herbs, quacks. In your neighborhood, you hear of drug peddlers. Some will even tell you the ingredients they use it is from tiger, body of tiger, fats of tiger. You wonder, I've been hearing of this thing in the last day, selling, asking people to come and buy. Oh, alright. You wonder how many tigers is this producer have killed to be able to extract the fat from leopard. I mean, as to make his drugs that he says, and you see people, or people hawking capsules, red, yellow, green in the market. Most of these things are expired drugs that was expected to be destroyed, and the medical assistant or attendant that was meant to be responsible for the structure simply find a way to channel them back into the market. Now you see them in transparent bottles. They hawk them to the market women who have to buy them. And the guy will tell you, say, you can use this, you can use this. They will also prescribe. By the time the implications of those bad drugs, and they will not even go, they can't even afford to visit general hospitals. I was talking with somebody yesterday who drove me out. I said, you have eyes? He said, how have you been treating your eyes? I said, somebody came to their office and something in make something that he has to put in the eyes. I said, something not prescribed. Somebody who has a genuine drug will not hawk it. People will be referred to him. And he said he has this Yalago, that is the herbalist, who's woman, that gave something to be, they call it tiro, I don't know, eyelashes, that he has to put in his eyes. I said, hey, try and visit an ophthalmologist. Let them give you the right prescriptions. At least you will know what you are up to. You're up against. So, now you went to use it, but well, from the way he was talking, he did not have the wherewithal to take my advice and act on it. So the best thing the system can do for anybody is in terms of health facilities, because the implication is more serious than lack of schools. Yeah, people can die on roads, but health issues are silent killers. People die in their rooms, some even resort to traditional, it is his enemies, and the church also do not help. The church gives them only some water to sprinkle, to some anointing oil. Meanwhile, the GOs and the pastors are visiting the best of the hospital for medical attention. Whenever they travel, but they say, this anointing will cure you. Some will go to prayer ground, okay, for days. I'm being treated with water, drinking water, with praying. Yeah. I don't think those who take that route do not know that your prayers could help the doctors to make the right diagnosis. But prayers do not substitute for proper medical attention. No, it doesn't. It does not. In fact, doctors also say, we care, God heals. So for those who think that, okay, God can heal, there's God that is responsible for your health or your well-being, but at least visit the hospitals. Let him help those doctors. Let God and his supplication help those doctors. We need to take it that serious. It's very, very endemic. A lot of people are in danger. Drugs. You buy a drug this today, by the time you go back to the same pharmacist tomorrow, you can be sure it's risen by 30-50%. And after you have gone through that a few times, you now begin to look for alternatives, and the alternatives may not be that palatable. We can only beg those who keep our common purse, from where they service themselves, from where they take care of themselves, let them at least do something about our health. A lot of these things are preventable if there are if the hospitals are provisioned. When they can't even prevent them, purely there becomes problematic. Well, I congratulate those who are not having any health challenges, but they should ensure that they don't enter the orbit where they have to see their doctors regularly. It is serious. It is serious out there. And of course, if you don't eat properly, it's also lead to certain medical issues. But what can we do? What can we do? We are already in it. The political system is not. There are no political class. Political class are usually conscious of themselves as people who has to run things properly, but we don't have them. Thank you.